This course is presented by TTJ Tech Services and Stir It Up Studios.
And now, to the glory of God and the benefit of listeners everywhere, it's iPad for all computing.
And we will begin. So, all right, so we are all set, and we want to welcome you once again, my friends, to session number 26 of iPad for All Computing. We're glad to have you. Remember, 3 classes again this week, 3 classes next week, and then our final week we'll have 3 classes, but not Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It's going to be Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday because of Memorial Day. Remember, our last session is May the 28th. Praise God. Father, in the name of Jesus, we are overjoyed and excited to come to you once again. We're so blessed, and it's all because of you. And we thank you that we're blessed to be a blessing. Help us to do exactly that with this class and with everything that we teach, Lord. We pray a special blessing upon every listener and their family and their households, just as you bless me, my family, and our household so entirely, so completely, so abundantly, Lord. None of me, but all of you in Jesus' name. Amen and amen. Well, praise God. As I mentioned, our topic today is Safari, and for this entire week, I think, we'll be looking at various aspects of Safari. So let's get our original sound going. And we will...
Done. Button. More.
Swipe up here.
Picture displayed. More. Button. Dock. Mail. Music. Safari. Music.
So there it is.
Safari.
You can hear that when we double tap on it.
Mail. Safari. Edit. Button.
I don't think I have any pages open. Let me verify that before we begin.
Trackers prevent.
Okay, good. All right. So as you know, I think, Safari is the web browser. It's very powerful, very accessible, and it's the only one I use. I know some people, are told maybe they need to use Chrome for this or that or whatever. I've never run into any situation where I've actually needed to do that. Most websites are pretty accessible these days. Every once in a while you run across one that maybe isn't. There are some workarounds you can try in those cases. But generally, you're going to find websites to be pretty accessible. The key thing, and, as we go forward here in this demo, remember that this is an advanced class. The expectation is that you already know how to use VoiceOver if that's what you're going to be doing. And so we are not... I'm going to show you some VoiceOver tricks, but in the end, really, we're going to be focusing on a lot of the other aspects of Safari. I also can't show you, and I think probably you all realize this, I can't show you how to navigate every website, right? I mean, I'm going to give you some examples. I'm going to give you some demos, do some, some little things, but there's no way that I can show you every scenario. So I want to start with a little bit of a discussion before we do the demo, and then we're going to kind of come back full circle to this and talk about it again on Wednesday. And if time permits, maybe we'll do an experience lab on Wednesday with Safari. That would be great, wouldn't it? Just see how far we get today and tomorrow. If we can do that, we will. But I want to discuss best practices for using Safari because I've watched customers and students work with Safari, and I've seen what tends to trip people up. And I have to tell you, the biggest issue that I have seen people run into, and of course this is not a criticism, it's designed to be helpful here out of love, but the biggest criticism that, it's not a criticism is what I was trying to say. It's not, in any way meant to be that. The biggest issue that I've seen people run into is what I like to call confirmation bias. And that is that they're not really listening to what is on the web page, but they're expecting to hear something in some form. And if, or oftentimes when, they don't hear exactly that thing, they say, oh, well, I can't find it. This website isn't accessible and it's really, really difficult. A lot of times that would not matter whether you could see or not, whether you're a voiceover user or not, because if you are sighted, you can make the same mistake. That confirmation bias. It is, I'm looking for this particular thing, and if it doesn't appear exactly that way, it's not there, or the website isn't very easy to use. And I actually gave you a demonstration of that with the App Store last week, if you'll recall, and I want to bring you back to this moment because I think it so clearly illustrates what I'm talking about. I said to you, we're going to find the search field, because I think we were searching for the Instacart app together. And I pointed it out how when you reach the search field, either by tapping or by swiping, VoiceOver doesn't say search field. It says games, apps, stories, and more. But if you let the VoiceOver cursor there, after it says games, apps, stories, and more, it says search, edit, double tap to edit, or whatever. Then it clearly identifies itself as a search field. But they're telling you that you can search for games, apps, stories, and more. Just like in the music app, the search field says something like artists, albums, songs, whatever, because you can search for all those things. And what I've actually seen people do is I'll say to them, okay, let's go to the search field in the App Store so you can download, such and such an app. And they don't wait, and they hear the word games, and they immediately keep swiping, and they say, well, I can't find the search field. Well, you can't find the search field because you didn't listen. You didn't wait long enough. And again, that's not meant to be a criticism. It's just fact, all right? It's just truth. That's why you can't find it. It was there. The same thing happens with customers in Safari. You've got to, the piece of advice that I can give, and this is over time. I probably wouldn't have said the same thing, 3 years ago, or maybe even 1 or 2. But praise God, God has shown me and made this clear to me, and I've seen it as I work with customers. The number one piece of advice that I can give you with Safari or anywhere is to listen. Your ears are your eyes, and I know you know that. I'm not telling you something you haven't heard before or don't realize. If you can't see, your ears are going to be one of the ways you see the world. But you've got to use that to your advantage. Don't rush. Do not rush when you are using the VoiceOver cursor, when you are swiping and navigating around. Don't rush, okay? Take your time with the swipes. Listen to everything that VoiceOver says before you move on. Remember that web pages are often updated, okay? They don't stay the same forever because people want to give things a fresh new look. People want to give things a fresh new design. And you may agree with the design and you may like it, or you may be somebody that says, I wish they would have left it alone. It was better that way. It was easier. It doesn't matter. You don't work there. They changed it. So what are you going to do? You got to deal with it. So remember that websites change, just like app design and app layout can change. And your best bet in order to give you the most positive experience is to work through it and take your time. But again, how do you do that? The number one thing is to listen to everything that is said to you. Now, you can get used to it, and you can get to the point, I'm talking after you've done it some, where you don't have to wait because you know exactly where the link is that you want. I frequently use a website that we're going to talk about in 2 weeks, and maybe a little bit sooner even, called Pinecast. Trainer Cliff and I both do. That's our podcast hosting site. And, praise God, thanks to God-given talent, combined with a lot of doing this, because I'm uploading stuff often, I have that website memorized to the point that I don't really have to listen. I can swipe. I know, all right, if I swipe down to this heading and I just hear this one word, I know that's the right heading. And I know now if I swipe, 3 or 4 times to the right, I'm going to find this, and I'll do, you can get to that point if you use the site often. But now, that doesn't mean that they won't change it, right? That doesn't mean at some point that they won't see fit to change the website so that it's different, and then I'll have to start kind of back at the drawing board and listen again until I learn that new way. And one of the apps, again, not a criticism, just being very honest with you, one of the apps that is most famous for that is Zoom. Zoom changes things, it seems like all the time. It really isn't all the time, but it's frequently. Sometimes they change things and then go back because, like, maybe they're testing a feature, and then, and I mean, and then I have to get used to it all over again. I very rarely feel in Zoom that I can sort of rest on my laurels with what I think I know. I always have to. Now it's kind of been stable for a little bit, but that was after some major changes, and I think I'm fairly well used to the setup of it now. But again, your best tool is to listen, because VoiceOver is going to say everything that you need to know. Leave your hints turned on and listen, and swipe and listen, and swipe again and listen some more. Now, in addition to that, when we talk about best practices for navigating with websites, there are also some conventions. Again, we talk a lot about predictable patterns, right? That's more of a voiceover in and out topic, but we've certainly discussed it here a bit in the iPad course as well. But we talk about fundamentals and predictable patterns a lot. And that applies to web design as well, right? There are some conventions that are just going to be standard across the board. For example, if I'm on an e-commerce website, in other words, a shopping website, my cart is often going to be either at the very, not first on the page, but near the very top, like in the top section of the page, or it might be at the very bottom, or again, close to the bottom. And it's oftentimes going to say the word cart or shopping cart or bag or my bag, but not always. Sometimes it'll just have a number, like 5 or 5 items or something. So again, these are basic conventions. Well, how do you know that, Matt? Well, because I've spent a lot of time on a lot of websites, and that's what you need to do. And the more you do it, the more you'll learn that. Where is the account section? That can be a bit elusive. Again, it's usually top, but not very top. Websites are designed with what are known as headers and footers. Oftentimes the footers, like your about and copyright information and that sort of stuff, and the header is often going to be basic navigation. But a lot of times there are expandable menus, and you got to listen to what they say. Maybe one says account menu, maybe one says shopping menu, maybe one just says navigation menu, and you don't know until you expand it. And these are what are sometimes referred to as hamburger menus. And I think the hamburger term comes from how they look. But you expand the menu by double tapping it, and then all of a sudden there's a whole bunch of items that you didn't have before that have expanded out of that menu once you've double tapped on it, right? So there's some basic things that you can look for, and there's also the possibility of using the VoiceOver item chooser. I'm not a big item chooser user. I mean, it's not that I have any problem with it either. It's just I typically don't need it. But it is there for those that do. I really like headings on websites, and I think most screen reader users do. Not all websites have headings, though, so you have to be prepared for that as well. I've shared with you that I don't like a really, really bloated rotor. I like very few things in my rotor, but I do think there are some useful ones to have on web, especially in web navigation, just like there are in other things. We've shown you where containers and vertical navigation can be very helpful, for example, and of course characters, words, and lines, and your misspelled words and your text selection. But when it comes to especially websites, I am a big fan of having headings, links, and form controls all in my rotor. And obviously, headings, will demonstrate. Links, I think, make sense to you. Why form controls? Well, sometimes, you're filling out a form online, and I'll talk about that more in a minute, and you need to find, like, a submit button. But once in a while, not very often, but once in a while, that submit or place order button or something is kind of far removed from everything else you were doing, because they've got a whole bunch of stuff in between it, like by placing this order you agree to, and then they have all these different things, and to track your order do this, and to cancel your order, and they put all that before they put the place order button. Sometimes, not very often, but once in a while. And so in those cases, It's really, really useful. And also, sometimes a place order button happens to be part of what's called like a region of a page. And so VoiceOver will announce that region first before it says place order. So what you hear is something along the lines of, I don't know, let me just come like a random example, like, you know, shop page, complete the form to place your order. And if you wait long enough, again, it goes back to that confirmation bias. I hear that and I think, oh, that's not a place order button. And if I'd have waited long enough, it would have said place order button. But I had to listen through shop page, fill out the form to place your order, and then it says place order button, right? So if I'm not listening and I'm not waiting long enough, like I just advised all of you to do, I might miss it. So putting form controls in the rotor, the place order button, the submit button, those are going to be form controls. And so I know that if I turn the rotor to form controls and I swipe up and down, I'm going to run through and run across every single form control that's on that page. Now, some of them may not be relevant. Some of them might be, search or, enter your email address to sign up for our newsletter, whatever. That has nothing to do with the order that I'm trying to place. But if I keep swiping up and down while the rotor is set to form controls, I'm eventually going to run across what I want, right? So I like form controls in the rotor for that reason. Now, there's a lot of other things you can put in the rotor that can be helpful, but again, it's personal preference. And a lot of these things will work not just on websites as well. So some of the other things that you can put visited versus non-visited links in the rotor, so you can actually decipher that. You can put static text, you can put check boxes, you can put text fields, and all of these and more are available. If you go to your rotor item settings in VoiceOver settings, you can do that. I think the only ones that tend to be mostly web specific, although they do work in other places, are the headings, links, and form controls. But I wanted to kind of give you a little bit of an overview of that. Now, the other thing that I want to talk about before we do some demos is specifically filling out forms on the web. We're going to demonstrate a bit of that, at least a login form. But what I want you to know is that I highly, highly encourage the use of the Passwords app, formerly known as Keychain, as well as the autofill feature for your contact information. And I'm going to show you the Passwords app. Probably not today. I'm guessing tomorrow, but we'll see where we get to here. But I'm going to show you the Passwords app. As I mentioned, the Passwords app used to be called Keychain. Apple really doesn't use that term Keychain anymore. I don't even know if I could be wrong. Maybe it's somewhere in documentation or something, but it's not readily used. They've changed it, and they just call it the Passwords app. And even when you do it, it'll say this password will be stored in passwords. It doesn't say it'll be stored in Keychain anymore. So that is a way to store all of your login information in a very secure, I'm talking military grade, 128-bit encrypted, very, very secure. And it is synced with iCloud, so it will be available on all of your devices, iPad, iPhone, and Mac, however many you have, so long as they're signed into the same Apple account. It's secure. You can't even view your saved passwords without using either Touch ID or Face ID or your device passcode. And if you have the stolen device protection feature enabled on your iPhone, it actually makes you use Face ID. I don't even think it lets you use the passcode in that scenario. Or maybe when you're home. I think when you're in what's called a trusted location, you can adjust these settings too. But I think one of the options is, the way I have it set, when you're in a trusted location, your home or whatever, it'll let you do it either way. But when you're away, it'll make you do Face ID so it knows that somebody else didn't, get a hold of your device. And so this is an added measure of security. But anyway, the point is that even the Passwords app, even to view your passwords, you must authenticate in one way or another. The other benefit to the Passwords app is it notifies you if any of your passwords have been detected in a data leak. So if it thinks your password has been compromised somewhere, it's going to tell you to change it. And it's going to, offer to take you to the website where you can change it. It will tell you the strength of your password, and it will create strong passwords for you on websites and apps when you need them. And there will be websites that you may run into that are not coded properly. and that Safari can't tell it's a password field, and then some of those options aren't going to be available. But again, that's rare. More often than not, it's going to work just fine. So, the thing about websites is that they're coded differently. People design websites in a lot of different platforms, right? I don't think we see too many people designing them through manual coding anymore. But there's a lot of different, maybe some do, maybe the more advanced places, I don't know. But there's a lot of different, what they call content management systems, or basically web design platforms, right? Cliff and I are going to talk a little bit about the one that we use in the final week of our course here, of the class, so that we can talk about how to use the iPad as a web design tool. We'll talk about the one that we use called Universe. It's excellent. They've gone out of their way to be voiceover accessible, and it really, really works great. And it was designed first and foremost for iPhone and iPad, but now they also have a Mac app as well. So you can use any of the devices, and we really like Universe. There's also WordPress, which is very, very famous, and there's Wix and Squarespace and all of these different, platforms. Used to be Weebly, which is now part of the Square company, and there's a lot of them, and GoDaddy, and so all of these things and the technologies that they use and so forth, and then the template or the theme that they use will affect the way that a website performs. And so that's why you're so subject to, a lot of times people say, well, why does it not work on this website but it does on this? Well, it's the coding. It's the way that website was designed. And, as a general user, we can submit feedback about that, and in a kind and godly and, uplifting way, we can try to let companies know, hey, I'm struggling with your website and this is why. But there are many times that is probably going to even take a while to get to the right person, because a lot of the people don't know, if I were to contact, for example, the local branch of my bank. Now, our bank has a very accessible app, so this is not a real example because I have nothing to complain about, praise God, but our bank app is very accessible. But let's just say hypothetically that it weren't. If I were to contact our local branch, there's very little that they could realistically do except try to look up the web development team. Even contacting the national office of the bank is not really probably going to do it, because it's probably some third-party contractor that develops these websites, right? And so, that's just the way it is. So you can submit feedback and, hope and pray that it gets to the right people and that they're then willing to do something about it, which usually they are. Many times they're required to, but a lot of times they don't know, and also don't confuse inaccessibility with user preference and user friendliness, right? Because those are very, very different issues, right? A website that's inaccessible, is actually pretty rare in this day and age. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, because it does, but it's rare because there are so many built-in safeguards now that make websites reasonably accessible, because that's been required for many, many years. So most of your well-known web design tools and CMSs and so forth will have that automatically, if you just design the website in our platform, it's going to be accessible, right? But that doesn't mean it's going to be easy. That doesn't mean that the layout of it is great. And, still once in a while you'll run into something that isn't accessible. And for that, you can also try screen recognition, right? Because that's another way to sort of help you out in this is to use screen recognition. Screen recognition is a voiceover feature, as you know, and it's designed for those times when a particular website or app is otherwise not accessible. And sometimes you'll run across just one little thing on a website that's not accessible while the rest is. So, my biggest advice in all this is to just take your time with it, explore, and get used to many, many websites. Here's the beautiful thing about this. The more you do this, the easier it will become. The bigger the sampling of websites you've got to pick from that you've dealt with over the years, the easier it's going to be to navigate future websites, because somewhere along the way you'll have run across X, Y, or Z before on a totally different website, and you'll say, oh, I remember that. I remember what I had to do, to get through that, right? So, there's no way we can teach you every possible thing here. But I wanted to give you that little preamble. I guess it wasn't so little. We probably spent a half hour on that maybe. But I think it almost. But I think it was well worth it. I think you'll find it to be well worth it, and I believe it'll be a blessing to you. You go back and listen to that, because we just sort of want to put your mind at ease about this and give you some tips for trying to navigate. So now that we've done that, we're going to do some demos, and I'm going to show you around, but we're also going to talk about some of the cool features of Safari that maybe don't get a lot of airtime, things like tab groups and so on, and show you how to best use Safari on your iPad. Now, if you've not used Safari before, when you first open it, you're going to be on the sort of Apple Start page, is what it's called. And really, it's not even a page per se, but it's it's quick access to a lot of different information. Your favorites, your iCloud tabs, which are website tabs that are opened on other devices, tracker information where Apple has prevented certain sites from tracking you, a lot of this stuff here, and you can customize this start page. And then when you open a website, once that website is opened, if you simply swipe up to go home and leave the Safari app without closing the site itself, when you return to Safari the next time, that site is still going to be open right where you left off. Now, it might refresh the page, maybe, depends. And also sometimes things that will time out, like shopping carts and stuff, they may not be where you left off because they're not designed to be for security reasons. You might have to log back in or something, so there are exceptions to that. But the general rule is when you leave a website and you open Safari up again later, it's still right there. Now, this is a great feature. It can also be a problem for people who don't close their tabs ever, right? Because we've run into places where we'll see somebody's got 57 tabs open. I don't really know. My understanding is that slows down the performance. At the very least, it's clutter. And so there's a setting, if you go under settings and then apps and then Safari, that you can actually enable tabs to automatically close after a specified period of time if you have not used them. So I actually have mine set to close every day. But it's only going to close the ones that I haven't used in a day, in a 24-hour time period. If I use it today, it's not going to close today, right? So they've got to be inactive tabs for at least a day, in my case, for a day. You can change that to a week, month, different options, in there. I don't know what they all are, but you can. But that's the one that I have, so that my unused tabs do get closed in case I forget to close them. There is a quick way to close all your tabs, and we'll show you that. Also, while we're talking about tabs, I want to define kind of what is a tab and what is a window, because you can have multiple windows open in Safari on the iPad, just like you can in other apps. And that will actually mean that there are separate windows that you would have to find if you wanted to go back to them. And the way to find them when you want to go back to them is to long press on the Safari icon on your home screen and choose Show All Windows. And that'll show kind of an app switcher view of all the open Safari windows. Each website can be in its own separate window. I don't tend to work that way. I don't prefer to work that way. I think if you are very visual, that would be useful to you, because you can tile the windows just like anything else and put them anywhere and arrange them all over the screen if you wanted to. But for me as a voiceover user, I don't find that to be the most efficient way to work. I do work with multiple tabs sometimes by choice, and sometimes because that automatically happens when you tap on a particular link, it opens in a new tab. But a tab is a separate area for a particular website, but it's not a separate window. So you can have, they're just automatically there. And you actually can have multiple tabs open on your iPhone, but they're not going to show up on the screen at the same time like they do on the iPad. On the iPad, they'll actually show up beside each other and so forth, and you can pick a particular tab. Now, you can also have, but all of these tabs, to be clear, are multiple websites in the same window. Now, what would be a practical scenario of where I might choose, by my own choosing, to have multiple tabs? When would I ever want to do that? Well, maybe I'm comparing the iPad Air to the iPad A16. or I'm comparing a GE refrigerator to a Samsung, or, I mean, I'm just giving one track example there of comparison shopping. There are other reasons too, right? But that's one very easy to see example because I want both of them open side by side and I can quickly go back and forth rather than having to use the back button all the time. I can just choose one of the tabs, look at the about, the description, the price, choose the other tab, look at the about, the description, the price, all of those things. And then if I really want to get ambitious, I can create what's called a tab group. And a tab group is all these open tabs in one group. So now if I'm looking at GE refrigerator, LG, Samsung, and I'm going to create a new tab group and call it appliance shopping or fridge shopping or whatever I want to call it, right? Because you can name them. And now I go back to that tab group and all three of those, the LG, the GE, and the Samsung, are opened and I can access them. Or if I want to close them, I can save them instantly all to bookmarks. So the next time I go to that tab group, they're not open anymore because I closed them, but all the bookmarks just for those three refrigerators are there and I can open them back up again if I want to. Another thing about tab groups that you create is that they're collaborative. So if I'm refrigerator shopping with my wife and kids, I can share the tab group with them. And so we can all collaborate on it. We can all add things to it. If my wife finds a really good one that she likes and says, you ought to check this out, she can add it to the tab group and I can immediately see that. And we can even start a message conversation or a FaceTime call right from within the Safari app in a tab. Now, you can't collaborate on the default tab group that's just there by default. And I don't believe you can collaborate on the private tab group because that wouldn't even make sense. But you can collaborate on any tab groups that you yourself create. All right, so we're going to show you that as well. And speaking of private, you do have a private tab you can open anytime you want. Websites that are in the private tabs do not get stored in your history. As soon as you close the tab, it is gone. Now, it is possible to keep the private tab open when you leave Safari and come back to it, okay? So do be aware that it doesn't force the tab to automatically close when you swipe up to go home. So if you're Christmas shopping for the spouse, the kids, whatever, and you say, well, they're not going to see it, well, don't forget to close the tab, because if you leave the Safari app with the tab still open, even though it was private, they're going to see it. But there is a workaround for that too. You can enable, and maybe it's enabled by default now, to be honest with you, I'm not even sure, but you can enable Touch ID or Face ID for your tab, private tab. So then that would prevent what I'm talking about, because as soon as you open Safari, if it is in a private tab, it's going to require whatever your device uses. In my case, Touch ID for the iPads, praise God, it's going to require that. So you would have to authenticate before it would display that tab that was still open. So that's private browsing, and we're going to show you a little about that as well. All right, so I am already, if you'll recall,
133.
I'm in Safari, and we'll find out what that 133 means here in a bit. As usual, we're going to touch the top left.
Picture in picture.
And we're going to get picture in picture because we're in Zoom. That's okay.
Safari.
All right, now I've swiped past that. Praise God. Now listen.
Extensions. Supercharge your Safari browsing with extensions that can find discounts. Browse extensions. Close. Favorites.
Let's see.
Supercharge your Safari browsing with extensions that can find discounts, block ads, and more.
Okay.
Extensions.
We'll talk about that.
Extensions.
There really is something to the left of this, but I may not see it because of the pip window.
Extension. Picture.
I don't think
Safari.
it's going to let me.
Safari.
And,
Supercharge. Safari. Active. Tabs. Tap. New. Share.
Maybe
Dim.
it won't be there till I open a site, and that's fine. But I'm looking for the sidebar. Maybe I have to have a site open to see the sidebar now that I think of it. I don't know. We'll see it in a minute, I'm sure. But what you just heard is useful. It's talking about extensions, and I will actually demonstrate that a little bit later. Just hang on to that. At the top middle of my screen is going to be the address bar, and I can touch that directly, or I can swipe to it. And I apologize for the puppy barking there. She'll stop in a moment. I don't know what she's seeing right now, but she will stop. My son was going to go outside and ride his motorcycle a little bit, but I didn't think he went out. Maybe I missed it, and he did. Well, she'll stop. If she doesn't, we'll continue anyway. But the top middle of the screen is the address bar, but it's not just an address bar, it's also your search bar. So one of the things that that some users do is that they go to that search bar and they think they need to type like google.com before they can do a Google search, for example. You don't need to go to google.com. You can actually type your search term, your whatever you want to search for, right in that edit field, because it's an address bar and a search field combined. So it's at the upper middle of the screen. Let's touch it.
Selected, address, search or enter website name, button.
And see, it even says search or enter website name. Now, praise God, I knew where that was. He's shown me. I've got that. I can touch it pretty much any time. If you don't, you can swipe to it. Swipe left and right.
Back, show sidebar, edit.
And now
button.
I found that thing I wanted.
Show more, edit, button.
That really is going to be the top left. But again, this picture-in-picture window kind of messes with things sometimes. But you have
vertical edit button.
Edit.
Vertical scroll bar. Show sidebar button.
Show sidebar. We do have a sidebar in Safari. I'm not going to open that sidebar until we get a website up here on the screen. But let's just look at the rest of this Apple start page. Now go to the right.
Back, dimmed, button.
Well, we can't go back because nothing's open.
Selected, address, search or enter website name.
And even though that says it's selected, it's not really open yet. You'd have to double tap it before you can type. Go to the right.
Manage extensions, button.
And that's where we can manage our extensions that we were hearing about. I will talk about extensions, but not just yet.
Voice search, dimmed, button.
Now there's our voice search button. If we want to use that, we normally can. It's dimmed right now, of course, because we're in Zoom.
Share, dimmed, button.
And there's our share button, which again is dimmed because there's not a website open. I told you, the Apple start page is not even really a page. It's not a website, I guess is the better way to say it. It is a page. It's not a website. So we can't share it, okay? When something's open, that share button will be available.
New tab, button.
Now, new tab is open, but we don't need one right now.
Tabs, button.
And there's our button that'll show us our list of tabs. I'm going to go into that in a little while.
Tabs,
now,
button.
What I also have on the screen then is the rest of this Apple start page.
Picture and Safari, supercharge, extensions.
That's that extensions section.
Supercharge your Safari browsing. Browse extensions, button.
All right, we're not going to do that right now.
Close, button.
All right.
Favorites.
Now, here's a way to access my favorites from the Apple start page. This is not normally how you're going to access your favorites, but I can right now because I'm on the Apple start page.
Show less, button.
And if I don't want to see them, I can show less.
Save tabs, button. Gourmet chocolate, popcorn and more, vertical line bed. General mistakes, vertical line, full house, Wordle. Everett Foodliner, Bruce's May, Current Lifeboat, Rima Correspondence Bible School.
These are some of the favorites that I have. I don't think it even shows me all of them. If I'm not mistaken, if I wanted to see all of them, I'd have to double tap on that favorites over here, but let's just swipe a few more.
HTT, Original, Andrea, Original Italian Pizza, Jim's FAQ, SpaceX Web, IEEE's, Apple, but, Yahoo, YouTube, News, Popular, Thrilling Stories by Titanic Saved, 1912, What Happened, How Stuff Worked, Walt Disney World Theme Park, Wikipedia, The 10 Most Essential Things to Do on Your First Visit to Philip, Ultimate Guide to the Family Guide, WB Oregon, 56th Fun Halloween.
Maybe it is going to have all of them. I'll swipe a little more quickly, or maybe I'll just touch lower on the screen so I can show you some other things.
Ultimate Guide to the Best, A Beginner's Guide to Making Music with GarageBand, Public Library iPad, Order Deluxe Registered Fruitcake on...
Now what I can also do is 3-finger swipe up.
Page 3 of 6.
All right, we'll go maybe one more time.
Page 4 of 6.
And let's see.
Hershey Park, Del Grasso's 100. Home vertical line west Prov T double.
Maybe I'll go all the way up.
Page 5, page 6 of 6. Safari prevents tracking.
Okay.
Websites.
Now we're past favorites.
Privacy. New episode.
What I'm doing now is swiping back to the left.
My recordings.
And now I'm on the favorites again, so I'll swipe right.
Zoom Hub. New episode. Privacy report.
Here's the privacy report.
Last 30 days. Trackers prevented from profiling you. 133.
That's what that number meant.
Websites that contacted trackers.
And then it'll show me that.
Safari.
Swipe
Most
past
contacts.
all that.
Show more. Edit button.
There's an edit button at the bottom if I want to rearrange the sections of this start page. You may have different things on your start page than what I do. But now we're going to actually go to a website. So let's begin with our address and search bar that's up at the top center of the screen.
Selected, address, search or enter website name.
And let's double tap.
Go.
Now,
Dimmed.
where the return key would be is the go button. It's dimmed because I haven't typed anything in there. If you already have an address in there, it's going to be selected, so you can just start typing and it will replace it. And I'm going to go ahead and first go to the TTJ website. And what you'll notice is when I start typing, it's going to start to preload what it thinks I want. They call that the top hit. I'm not going to have to type the whole thing. I'm just going to type TTJ.
R.
Whoops.
Web page
Okay,
loaded.
delete the R. Okay.
TT.
Now I put a TT.
TTJ.
And it all,
TTJ Tech Services.
see,
TTJTECH.biz.
it's already reading that because I've been there before. So where's it getting this from? It's getting it from your history, from your bookmarks and favorites. We'll talk about those in a little. It's getting it from popular websites that other people search, and it even has Google searches. So all I've typed is TT. I didn't even put the J yet. What I'm going to do is type, instead of typing, now some people would just go ahead and type the rest of the web address, but we don't need to. We're going to touch up above the keyboard on the screen. Remember how that always has your quick bar with autofill and quick type and all those different things. Well, here they've got the websites that you've typed or that you've visited or that are in your favorites or suggested. And if I tap up high enough, I'm going to see those. So let's tap up above the keyboard here on the screen near the top middle.
Address. Text field is editing. TT. Character mode.
There's the address bar, and all I have in it is TT. Let's swipe to the right.
Clear text. Button.
Keep going.
Voice search. Selected. TTJ Text Services. TTJTECH.biz.
Now, if I want to visit that website, all I need to do is double tap it. It's already in the recommended or suggested there. It's my top hit. I've just got to double tap. Let's look to the right, though, see what else there is.
Google suggestions. Heading.
Now, here are Google suggestions.
TT.
Well, that's what I typed, TT. We could do a Google search for just TT.
Teokbokki. Complete search. Button. Till meaning. Complete search. Button. TTD stock. Complete search. Button.
Now, I don't even know what some of those things are, but they're things apparently that others have searched for on Google that start with TT. So if I want any of those, I could double tap their name or just to the right, that complete search button for each of those, and it would put those in as a Google search for me and show me the search results. I'm going to go back and double tap on our website, TTJ Tech Services.
TT. Selected. TTJ Tech Services. TT.
So again, to be very clear,
Selected. TT. Google suggest.
I did not have to type my whole website because I've been there before, and it's up here in the search results. So I just swipe left here.
Selected. TTJ Tech Services. TTJTECH.biz.
And I can just double tap that.
Show sidebar. Button.
And it's already ready. Now, what we now have is a website open. So we'll look here.
Tabs. Button. Navigation. Home. Visited. Link. List start. Navigation. Landmark.
This is our website. If I keep swiping to the right, I've got this is that primary navigation, that top section of the website.
Products. Link. Services. Link. Training. Link. Smart homes. Link. Our podcast. Link. Free resources. Link. TTJ merch. Link. TTJ news. Link. Contact us. Link at TTJ Tech Navigation. Contact us. Link end. Navigation. List end.
Tells me that's the last item in the navigation. Let's keep going to the right and see what else this page has on it.
TTJ Tech Services. A blue circle with the TTJ logo inside it. Image. A circular logo with text and an illustration of a flower in front of a building. The Tech Mod.
Now,
a circular logo with text and an illustration of a flower in front of a building. The Tech Mod.
It's actually the Tech Juggernaut. VoiceOver's trying to read it. But I also have an alt tag there that said
Navigation. TTJ Tech Services. A blue circle with the TTJ logo inside it.
Okay,
Image.
We'll keep swiping to the right.
A circular logo. The only tech you'll ever need.
All right, that's
Heading level 2.
That's our tagline. Go to the right.
Hello, MacBook Neo. Play video button.
Now, what we have, we always have a featured YouTube video on our website, and right now it's the MacBook Neo introduction video that Apple released. So if we swipe to the right, we can see that.
Hide player controls. Hello. MacBook Neo, link, Apple, link, thumbnail image, Apple 20.6M subscribers, share, button, watch on YouTube, link.
Now keep going to the right.
TTJ Tech Services, hello, Mac, Apple, About Us, heading level 3.
Now there's a heading that's called About Us, so let's swipe to the right.
TTJ is dedicated to providing high-quality sales, support, and training in the computer technologies, mobile device, network integration, and connected home fields.
And we could keep reading if we wanted to. But now I've told customers, if you want to subscribe to our newsletter, go to the homepage and then swipe down until you get to the heading called Stay in the Loop. I think that's what it's called, or Keep in Touch, something I don't even remember right at this second. But so then I'm going to go ahead and take my own advice and turn my rotor to headings. If I know that's the name of the heading, I don't have to swipe left and right to read everything here. I can go to headings.
Containers. Headings. 9 headings.
And notice it announces the number of elements that match that without you having to do anything. So if I were to turn the rotor to links,
Links.
it would say,
7 links.
okay, go to,
Form controls. 1 form control.
and there's a form control on this page. So let's go back to headings
Link headings.
and
9 headings.
swipe down.
Get in touch. Heading level 3.
And maybe that's it, or let's go one more time.
By phone. Heading level 3.
All right, so
Link.
see, each of these is a separate heading, and you notice it has,
Get by phone. Heading level 3. Link.
and it also calls that a link. Why? Because you can double tap that to immediately place a call to us. To the right, it also has the phone number.
814-624-9975.
Right.
Heading level 3.
So if I want to know
Link.
how to call TTJ and what the phone number is, I just simply have to, now my sonny's going outside, I think. Are you going out for a little bit? Yeah. Okay, love you. So if I keep swiping to the right, you know, we have another one.
Phone icon. Link.
There's actually another icon there to place the call. So it's just you know, it's got the phone number and then it's got the phone icon. Both of those will work. Give it a second here while he goes outside. Well, I guess it's going to be a little more than a second. All right. Let's go to the right.
Email. Heading level 3. Link.
So again, you have
info@ttjtech.biz. Heading level 3. Link. Email icon. Link.
so again, any of those really would work to start a new message to us, but it gives you the email address. Now go to the right.
Hours. Monday, Thursday, 9 a.m. 5 p.m. Eastern Time.
So it even has our hours listed here. And then if we go to the right again now,
Get the latest TTJ Tech news. Heading level 3.
that's the one that says get the latest TTJ Tech news. That's where you can subscribe to our newsletter. I had the wrong name, but that's what it is. And go to the right,
Subscribe button.
and there's our subscribe button. So that's what we tell customers to look for when we say subscribe. That's the button. If I swipe down to the next heading,
Or heading level 3. Follow us on Facebook. Heading
right?
level 3.
So all of these
Link.
are considered headings.
Heading not
Now,
found.
if you go to the right, notice that's the last heading if you swipe down.
Heading not found.
Go to the right,
Apple Teacher logo. Image. A white logo on a black background. Apple Teacher. Copyright 2022-2026. TTJ Tech Services. All rights reserved. All rights reserved.
Now we can use headings and swipe back up to go earlier on the page.
Follow or by phone. Get up. Heading not get in touch. The only tech you'll ever need.
And maybe we
Heading
want to go
level
back to the top menu because I want to find another thing we often tell customers to find is the link to our special sessions. Of course, we're not using them on Tuesdays anymore for the rest of this season because all Tuesday sessions are iPad classes. So you have to use your unique join link every Tuesday to come in here till the end of the season. But it's also the session link for our Saturday sessions, which we have 2 more of. And so if you want to join Trainer Cliff on Saturday night, you need that link. And plus, we're going to use it for our space race discussion and presentation tonight at 6:30 p.m. Eastern that I hope you'll join us for. So you might need our special Tuesday and Saturday link. So we know I tell customers that's under free resources. So let's say I'm going to try to find that. I'm here at...
About the only tech you'll ever need.
And that's
Heading
the
level 2.
first heading.
Heading not found.
See, I swipe up. There's no more headings above it, but it's probably to the left because it's probably, I tell people it's in the primary navigation menu. So let's swipe left, see if we can find free resources.
A blue circle with the TTJ navigation. Contact us. TTJ MERT. Free resources. Link.
Oh, there it is. Double tap.
Home. Free resources. TTJ Tech Services.
Now you'll notice
Smart home, our free resources, link.
There it is. And the way this website is designed, that actually doesn't say visited right now. I that's just because of the way the pages load. I think home does.
Training, service, product, home, visited, link.
Most websites they will. All right, so I tell everybody it's under the heading called special sessions on Tuesdays and Saturdays. So I could swipe to the right. Maybe I'm interested in learning about all the free resources that TTJ has to offer. So I swipe to the right and to the left instead of swiping down by heading because I don't want to miss any of the text, right? But then again, maybe I'm not interested in all the different ones. Maybe I'm in a hurry and I just want to get that special link right away. So in that case, I use headings. I swipe down.
Free, heading level resources, heading
I'm
level
swiping
1.
down with one finger.
Free online,
Because
heading
my
level.
rotor is set to headings. And it says free online. Well, what's that? Let's swipe to the right and see.
Classes,
Okay,
heading
free online
level.
classes. That's not the heading. Swipe down.
Special sessions every Tuesday and Saturday,
And
heading
there
level
it
3.
is. And so we swipe to the right.
Introducing Tuesdays with TTJ and Saturdays with Stir It Up. Join us twice per week for product reviews, tips and tricks, virtual help sessions, and much more. These sessions are free and open to everyone.
There we go. Swipe to the right.
Sessions take place in Zoom every Tuesday at 2 p.m. and every Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time from September through May.
And again,
Use the following link to join us.
so we know the link's coming up. And again, just to clarify, there's no more Tuesday sessions on this link. It's always iPad classes till the end of the season. So that, you already know that. But I'm just showing you now. Swipe to the right.
Join now. Visited. Link.
There it is. There's the Zoom link right there. Join now. And it's that easy. All right, maybe you want to find our podcast. That was up in the primary navigation also. I can use headings to go back up, or I can just swipe or touch randomly. Let's just...
Our podcast.
Oh,
Link.
well, praise God. Look at that. Landed right on it. Double tap.
Home. Our podcast. TTJ Tech Services.
And I'll swipe down once because I know that the primary navigation is above the first heading.
The TTJ Tech Talk Podcast. Heading level
Okay,
1.
now let's swipe to the right because we want to learn about it. So go to the right.
Check out our podcast for free tutorials, product reviews, tips and tricks, and much more.
And if you go to the right again.
Apple Podcasts. Button. Apple Podcasts Web Embed. Main. Landmark.
Now notice it said web embed. What happens is we've got the latest episode right here. You can listen right in the browser without leaving Safari because we have an embed player that always displays the very latest episode. And so if you go to the right.
TTJ Tech Talk. Image.
There's the...
Black TTJ Tech Talk. The Tech Juggernaut. Button.
Go to the right.
More. Button.
More.
Latest episode. Button.
There it is. Latest episode. You can double tap.
See more episodes.
And
button.
You can view more episodes if you double tap there. So it actually doesn't even need to you just double tap latest episode or see more episodes.
See how your data is managed. Link.
Okay,
and
we skip
Apple
that.
Our podcast. TTJ Tech Services. More ways to listen. Heading level 3.
Now notice that heading is called More Ways to Listen. But that's one of those cases where it's a perfect example of it reading a region first. Did you notice that? Listen to that again.
See our podcast. TTJ Tech Services. More ways to listen. Heading level 3.
The reason it did that, I think, is because that embed player was there first, and now it kind of used that as being back on the main part of the page. And so it says, our podcast, TTJ Tech Services. But then it said the actual heading name. If you were going the opposite way, I don't think it would do that. If I swipe to the right,
Apple Podcast.
and now I swipe back to the left,
More ways to listen. Heading level 3.
see, it doesn't read that whole thing again. But if I go the other way, if I'm coming at it from the left to the right,
See how your our podcast. TTJ Tech Services. More ways to listen. Heading level 3.
because of the embed player. That's not something I did, right? But it's also not something I can control because I don't want to remove the embed player. I want the embed player there. So you just have to listen, right? That was a perfect example. Praise God. I'm glad we did that because that's what I was talking about earlier. That shows you, okay? Now, so this heading is more ways to listen. So let's swipe to the right and see what other ways there are to listen.
Apple Podcasts. Link.
Okay, that's just a link to the same podcast, but on Apple. It would actually open up in your podcasts app. All right, go to the right.
YouTube. Link.
There you can, that'll take you to the YouTube, to the podcast on YouTube if you'd prefer to use YouTube.
Amazon Music. Link.
If you prefer to listen on your ECHO, ALEXA, that's the link to that.
More podcast platforms. Link.
And then there's a link to even more podcast platforms including, I think, the RSS feed is under there too. I think that takes you right to our Pinecast page where we have a whole bunch of different options, you know. And so keep going.
Our podcast, TTJ Tech Services.
Now that's it, I think. Let's see.
Our podcast.
Yep, that's all there is on that page. All right. So now if I want to buy a training package, maybe I'm ready for the gold membership. So let's go back up here and look for training.
Smart homes. Our podcast. Training. Link.
And double tap.
Home training. TTJ Tech Services.
Swipe down.
Training. Heading
because I'm
level
still
1.
in headings.
Certified, knowledgeable, and ready when you need us. Heading level 3.
Yeah, I might as well read about that and see if this really is for me.
TTJ offers numerous training options for individuals, groups, organizations, and teams of all sizes. The following products and product categories are eligible for TTJ training.
Oh, maybe I better read that first. Make sure that my product is even eligible. I don't want to spend money on a TTJ Gold membership if
May is now displayed.
if my product
now displayed.
Yeah, okay. If my product isn't eligible, so let's swipe right.
Bullet Apple iPhone /iPad /Apple TV /HomePod /Apple Watch /MAC.
Okay, so basically anything Apple's eligible. That's good to know.
Bullet iOS /iPad OS /TV OS /Watch OS /Mac OS.
All the software too. What about my Windows PC? Am I going to see that in the list here of TTJ eligible products? Probably not.
Bullet Apple iCloud. Continuity features, and integration of multiple devices.
Yes, these guys really like Apple, imagine.
Bullet use of all current Apple apps and numerous third-party apps.
Okay.
Bullet. Use of the voice-over screen reader and other accessibility features and apps.
Well, that's good to know. I got a brother who could benefit from that. Good to know they serve voiceover customers.
Bullet streaming apps and services, and numerous smart home, consumer electronics, music creation, and home security products.
That's wonderful. I've been trying to make the home smart. That's good.
We are a team of certified...
Oh, nope. My Windows PC isn't eligible. That was the end of the list, and guess I'm not getting a Windows Gold membership for Windows. Now, you see...
We are a team of certified Apple teachers, so we have constant access to the very latest information made available by Apple.
That's good to know. All right, swipe to the right.
We make it our business to learn about every new and updated feature.
Yeah, all right, I'm done reading about them and all their services. Let's just get to the prices. Let's try headings. Swipe down.
Government agencies, businesses and corporations, heading
Well,
level
I'm not
3.
one of those, so I guess swipe down again, see if there's something for me.
Individuals and families.
Yeah, there we
heading
go. That
level
ought to
2.
do it. Swipe to the right.
Training and support are available at a rate of $125 for the first hour, and $85 for each additional hour, single incident only. Training is handled online or by phone. For our local customers, in-person training may also be available.
Well, I got a lot of training needs. I hope they offer a package, because that's a little bit high for the amount of training I know I'm going to need. If they're not going to support my Windows PC, I guess I'm switching to a Mac and an iPad. I'm going to need a lot of training, so...
To receive a free estimate or to request training, call us at 81.
No, I don't want to do that. I want to find a package. Let's swipe down and see if they have any packages.
Training and support subscriptions.
Ah, that
heading
sounds
level
more
3.
like my style. Let's swipe to the right and see what they say about that.
Get an allotment of training hours, priority support, free shopping assistance, and numerous additional benefits when you purchase one of our subscription packages, only for consumers and small businesses.
That sounds like it's going to be a bargain. Let's keep going.
Premier Protection, 12-month subscription, heading level 3.
All right, here's one.
This 12-month subscription includes
I'm just swiping to the right. I'll see what this 12-month subscription includes.
Bullet 2 hours of training per month star.
Well, there's a star. That means there's an asterisk, so there's some qualifier. It says 2 hours of training per month, but there's some exception or something. I better make sure I really read that and do my homework before I buy this package. Go to the right.
Bullet priority support via email and Apple iMessage. Bullet extended support hours star.
Ooh, there's a double footnote there. That's a 2-star footnote. We're going to have to see what these footnotes are before we buy this.
Bullet unlimited shopping assistance and product setup.
Okay, go to the right.
Bullet ongoing smart home and networking support and consultations.
Okay.
$685.
All right, that's not bad for a year. And then to the right,
Buy button.
there's the button to buy. But I need to read those footnotes. Hopefully they have them here to the right.
Star training season is September through May. Priority support available year-round.
Ah, so that's the reason they have a footnote, because they're telling me that it's only September through May. Good to know. See if they also have the double footnote.
Star Monday, Saturday 10 a.m. midnight.
Oh, that's for priority support for the 2 stars. That tells me what the priority support hours are. Okay, go to the right.
TTJ Gold membership, 24-month.
Oh,
Heading
here
level
they have
3.
a gold membership. They have two years. So let's see what that says.
This 24-month subscription includes everything in our Premier Protection Plus. Bullet 2 additional training hours per month, 4 total. Bullet extended shopping and support hours during holidays and other peak times. Bullet 2 complimentary tech checks per year. Bullet free access to advanced paid training courses. Bullet a 2-year warranty on most products purchased through TTJ, 3 stars.
Okay, there's a footnote there. I'll have to read that, but this sounds like a really good package.
$1,299.99.
Now that's amazing, because that's like, I don't know, that works out to be like $12 an hour or something. I'm not going to beat that deal. Let's swipe over here.
Buy button.
And hit the buy button. But first, let's read the footnote.
3 stars. Apple products receive genuine Apple Care Plus coverage. All other products receive 2-year replacement warranties. Some products may not be eligible for coverage. Offer subject to change at any time.
All right, so that makes sense. That's the footnote about the 2-year warranties. Now, again, if we keep going.
Schedule a free consult. Heading level 3.
Well, maybe I'd like to do that before I invest this kind of money in this TTJ company. I better do a free consult, see if I'm also going to get Cliff from Stir It Up, because if I am, I may not want to buy this. No, I'm just kidding. So let's see. How do I do a consult? Swipe over.
Select a date and time. Calendly. Powered by Calendly. Link.
And they tell me it's powered by Calendly. Select the date and time. Let's keep going.
Matthew Volbrecht. TTJ Consult. Heading level 1.
All right, here we go.
30 minutes.
30-minute consult.
Web conferencing details provided upon confirmation.
It tells me they're going to give me the details once I book the consult.
Talk to us at a time that suits your schedule to discuss how we can be the only tech you'll ever need.
Okay.
After you schedule the consultation, we will be in touch to arrange a meeting location if applicable, or to provide a meeting join link.
Okay, so there we go.
Select a date and time. Heading level 2.
Now what it has here.
Go to previous month. Dimmed. May 2026.
See, it's got the current month.
Go to next month button.
And I can go to the next month, and then I can pick a date. So
May's select a date.
Wait.
May's now displayed.
May is now displayed. So
SUN M up to SAT.
let's say I want to do a consult on
SAT Saturday SUN MON Monday May 4th. No times available.
no, because
Current date.
that's today.
Tuesday May 5th. Times available.
There are times
Column
available
3
for my
button.
consult tomorrow. Let's double tap on that.
Cookie settings opens the preference center dialog button.
All right, we're not going to.
Times for May 5th are now displayed.
Let's touch here.
Training, TTJ Tech, select a date and time. Select a date and time. Go to previous month.
All right,
Dimmed.
I'm still seeing the month. Let's touch a little lower.
9 a.m.
Here's
button.
the hours.
List start. 9:30. 10 a.m. 10:30 a.m. 11 a.m. 11:30 a.m.
Let's say I want to schedule
6 of 16.
my consult at 11:30. Double tap.
11:30 a.m. Dimmed. 6 of 16.
Okay, now it says it's dimmed because I've already selected it, but it didn't bring up anything else. So what am I going to do? I'm probably going to swipe right.
Next. 11:30 a.m. button.
Okay, next. And that's what I want to double tap. It repeated the time. See, you got to really listen.
11. Next. 11:30 a.m. button.
Double tap.
Web conferencing details provided upon confirmation.
Now, what is it going to ask me? Let's touch kind of the lower middle of the screen here.
Name star.
Oh.
Name. Enter details. Heading. Talk to us at a top. Enter details.
All right.
Name. Form start.
Name.
Name star. Text field.
Let's double tap.
Required. Insertion point at end.
Now, let's see how good my scheduling service really is. Is it coded to accept autofill? Let's touch. I could be telling on myself here, but I don't manage this. This is third party, so we're gonna see. But notice how I'm very quick to shift blame there. I'm just joking. But let's look above the on-screen keyboard and see.
Cap you. Matthew Grayson Vol.
Yep, there it is. Praise God, it's got autofill. Let's swipe to the right.
Go up. Dim. Go down. Button.
That go down button would take me to the next form field. Sometimes it'll say next. Sometimes it'll say go up and go down. But we can't go up. We're at the very first one. We can go down. Let's go to the right again.
Tab.
Okay, go to the left.
Go down. Go up. Matthew Grayson Volbricht.
There's my name.
Autofill contact. Button.
And there's autofill contact. What that means is it's going to fill more than just my name. It's going to fill out anything else in this form that it can detect what it is. And so let's double tap on that option, because if I double tap here,
Matthew Grayson Volbrecht.
that will put my name in this field, and it will advance me to the next form field, typically automatically. But if I choose autofill contact, it's going to go ahead and fill out all these form fields. There are probably others it's going to ask for, so let's do that.
Autofill contact. Button.
Double tap.
Autofill alert. Matthew Grayson Volbrecht.
Now, swipe right.
Home, email. Work, email. Customize, button.
And we can even customize.
Other contact.
And I can
button.
even pick a different contact if I'm not using my own name. Now, it only asks for email on this form, not any of the other stuff, I guess. That's what it looks like. So we're just going to pick home.
Home, email.
Let's
email
see.
star, text field, form end, m.jv.
Okay, so it filled out my email address.
Email. Name star, Matthew Grayson Volbrecht. Email. Email star, m.
It put the email address in there.
Add guests, button.
We can add guests to this consult.
Please share anything that will help prepare for our meeting.
It doesn't ask for my
multi-line text field.
It doesn't ask for my phone number.
Double tap to edit.
Okay. It doesn't ask for my phone number, or I could have included that. It would have been an option in the autofill thing too, but this particular field doesn't ask for a phone number.
Do you prefer in person or online?
And the funny thing is, I thought it did actually ask for a phone number.
Do you send text messages to form star?
There we go.
United States.
There we go, it does.
Combo box. Send text messages to +1 text field.
So there's my edit field for the phone number. So we'll see if it recognizes that as a phone number. Let's say,
do you prefer please share anything that will help prepare for our meeting. Multi-line text field.
So I'm just going to put this.
Double tap to edit. Insertion point at end.
This is just a test.
Capt A I S I S J U F T space S T E F T period test.
And we can.
Do you prefer in person or online? Star text field form end.
They
required.
want.
Send text. Do you
Looks
prefer
like
in person or
a...
online? Insertion point at end. Cap J.
It doesn't.
Activate. Return.
It would have been nice if they'd have made that a pop-up button as a picker, but they didn't. So I'm just gonna.
Capital N L N E.
Online.
Selected date and time. Send text messages to form star.
Now.
United States. +1 combo box. Send text messages to +1 text field.
There's the edit field.
Double tap insertion point at end.
Let's look above the keyboard and see if it knows my number.
Home.
Yep.
8 iPhone. 8 autofill contact. Go up.
It shows my home number and my iPhone number there. Doesn't have work there, but if I went to autofill contact, it would. And so it's you again. It knows that it is your phone number, and that means I can just go ahead over here.
Home. iPhone. 8-1.
And I can double tap it, and it will insert it.
iPhone. 8. Send text messages to text field. Form end. +81. 4.
And it's got it in there. And my son just texted me and asked me to close the garage door. Let's do that with SIRI. Close the garage door, please.
Closing the main garage door.
Okay, there we go. So, that's, and I could submit this then, obviously.
Please share. Do you send text messages to by proceeding Japan by Calendly and schedule event button.
There's schedule event.
Cookie settings.
And, you know, we're not going to actually do that. It looks like the phone number went in there a little bit weirdly. I'd double check that. And I think that's because, again, the coding of these, you just never know. But what I want to do now is I want to browse away from this. You get the idea how that works. So that was cool. Let's go to another website. Let's go to one of my favorites to spend some time on, which is Mac Rumors. Great website that keeps us in the loop of what Apple is announcing and when, and a lot of speculation, too, that Apple hasn't confirmed. But that's fun, too, sometimes.
Selected.
Now.
Address. Text field is editing. https://ttjtech.biz/training selected. Character mode.
To the right.
Use the row to clear text button.
There is a clear text button that would immediately delete the contents of this edit field, but notice it said it was selected, so I don't even have to use that. I can literally just start typing, and I'll type the M of Mac Rumors.
Comma.
Oops.
Selection, comma.
Okay, I accidentally did a comma, but it did.
M.
Now.
Mac Rumors.
It already popped up. It's the first result, because I visit it frequently, so.
Selected. Mac Rumors. Show sidebar.
Just double tap on
button.
that.
Mac OS Tahoe 20. Skip to content. Visited.
Headings are great on this site as well.
iOS 26.5 brings end-to-end encryption to iPhone Android RCS messages. Heading level 2. Link main. Landmark.
And swipe down again.
iOS 27 will let you create custom wallet passes. Heading level 2.
Now, I mean, they're speculating that, but...
Mac OS Tahoe 26.5 release Canada now available. Heading
so
level
they're
2.
releasing, that means we're going to get those very soon to the public too. So, good to know. But I can read any of these articles by swiping to the right.
Monday, May 4th, by Julie Clover. Apple today provided a release Canada version of an upcoming Mac OS Tahoe link.
There's a link.
26.5 update to developers for testing purposes, with the update coming a week after Apple seeded the fourth beta.
Now, if I want to actually open, on Mac Rumors, you don't have to open the articles because the way that website is set up, you can almost always read the entire article right on the main page. Once in a while, if it's very long, there'll be a button to take you to the full article. But it's not like a typical blog where you have to go to the individual blog post to read the whole thing and you only get like a sentence or two. This really gives you the whole thing. But if I want to open one of these,
Mac OS Tahoe iOS 27 will let you create custom wallet passes. Heading level 2. Link.
of course I can just double tap.
iOS skip to content. In page link.
Now I'm on that particular article.
iOS 27 will let you create custom wallet passes. Heading level 1. Monday, May 4th. By Julie Clover. Link. Back in April, we highlighted. Link. A new add your own card wallet app option coming in. iOS 27. Link. And now, Bloomberg. Link. Has shared additional information. At the time, we said Apple was working on a feature that would let users generate digital passes from scans of things like movie tickets, concert passes, and gym membership cards.
That will be nice. I've been hoping they would do that. All right, so I could keep reading this, but maybe I want to share this with Trainer Cliff and Trainer Sarah or something. So I go up here to the top of the screen.
Selected. Address.
And I swipe to the right.
Page menu. Button.
There's a page menu we'll look at in a moment.
Add page to reading list. Button.
I can add the page to the reading list, which allows me to be able to access it even offline if I want to. It's just another section of articles that you save.
Manage extensions. Button.
We're still going to talk about that. I don't know that we'll get to it today, but we're still going to talk about it.
Reload page. Button.
There's your good old refresh button. It says reload page.
Share. Button.
And there's share. So let's go into share a moment.
Safari. Image, and illustration of an apple with a
Swipe right.
face on. iOS 27 will let you create custom wallet passes.
Again.
MacRumors.com.
Again.
Options. Button.
There are options before we share this. We saw that in photos also, if you'll remember. And what are the options here? Probably the format.
Copy. Button.
So let's see.
Just Monday, May 4th. Copy.
Again. Sometimes
Copy.
when you have
Dismiss. Kylie Vault.
this.
Cursed. Option. Options. Options.
Okay.
Heading.
See what the options are.
Done. Button. Send as. Heading.
Yeah, the format.
Selected. Automatic.
That's going to decide the best format for you.
PDF.
You can actually share this as a PDF.
Reader PDF.
You can share it as a reader PDF, which means it's going to take all the extra stuff out of it.
Web archive.
Okay.
Automatic will pick the most suitable format for each app or action.
All right.
Automatic.
Well, let's just leave it alone.
Send as. Done.
And hit
Button.
done. So now, what are our sharing
Image.
suggestions here?
iOS 20. Mac Rumors. Options. Carson. Kylie. Cliff.
Lots
messages.
of people's
Button.
suggested names. Go past all that and go to the...
Messages. Button. Mail. Button. Amber. Button.
Yeah, remember we had that Amber because you can share recipes from the web.
Notes.
Notes.
Button.
We can share this with notes.
Reminders. Button.
Either create a new note or add it to an existing one.
Journal. Button.
Share it to journal. Reminders. All these messages and mail, of course, you heard.
Freeform.
Freeform app.
Zoom. Instacart. Amazon. Facebook. More. Button.
And there's even more here, apparently, than what will fit in this menu.
Copy. Button. Add to bookmarks. Button.
So this is how you can add this to the bookmarks right from the share menu.
Add to reading list. Button.
There's another way to add it to the reading list, too.
View more. Button.
And you can even view more. Not everything's in this menu either.
View
so if I hit
more.
view more,
Button.
let's see what else
Copy.
there is.
View less. Button.
Go to the left.
Add to reading list.
Okay, that's
Button.
where we were. Go to the right.
View less. Button. Add bookmark to. Button.
Add bookmark to. That's going to give you the option of where to add it.
Add to favorites.
Add to
Button.
favorites.
Add to quick note. Button.
All right, that's in your notes.
Find on page. Add to home screen. Button.
You can add this as a web app on the home screen, so it has an icon there.
Markup. button.
Mark up the page.
Print button.
Print it out with your printer.
Find products on Amazon button.
That's a shortcut.
Search products on Walmart button.
Yep.
Download file. Edit actions.
That's it. All right, let's swipe out of that. So that was our share menu, and that's available on any website. Now let's look what else is up here. One of the things we heard was a page menu.
Manage extensions.
Remember?
Add page to reading list. Page menu.
Just to the right of the edit field for the address and search.
Selected. Address. Macrumors.com.
There is a page menu. Let's see what that does.
Page menu. Show reader. Button.
All right, we're going to come back to that. Go to the right.
Search document. Button. Text size 100%. Adjust more.
Okay.
Text size 100%. Adjustable. More. Button.
And then there's more.
Summarize. Button. Hide distracting items. Button. Listen to page. Button. Listen to page.
So there's
not found.
even more options that we didn't see because you have to click on more.
More. Button.
Double tap that.
Close. Button. Page menu. Edit. Page actions. Heading. Privacy report. Hide.
Listen.
Privacy report. 61 trackers prevented. Button. Hide toolbar. Button. Request mobile website. Show IP address. Print. Button. Report the website issue. Connection security details. Tab actions. Heading. Add to favorites. Button. Add bookmark. Add to quick note. Add to reading list. Move to tab group. Pin tab. Button.
You can move it to another tab group. I want to put this in my, one of those tab groups I created myself or something, so I can move this page to that tab group.
Website settings for macrumors.com. Heading.
And then you have a section of settings.
Request desktop website. Use reader automatically. Switched button. Off. Camera. Ask. Pop-up button. Microphone. Ask. Location. Ask. Location.
All that stuff is permissions. Like, does the website have permission to use your camera, your microphone, your location? And it says ask for all of them. This is a very nice list of options. And we'll hit done.
Close.
Or close,
button.
rather.
Video. Double tap to toggle
Of course, we're in the
controls.
picture-in-picture
A screenshot
section,
of Safari. Monday, May 4. Safari. Active. Show reader. Button. Search document.
We're back in the main page menu now. And one of the ones I want to show you is the reader. Let me get out of this first, though.
Monday, May 4. Safari. Call in progress. Safari. Search text. Hide. Listen to Safari.
So you have
active.
all these options.
Hide. Listen to.
Summarize, hide distracting items, listen to page. I'm going to
Show
get out of
sidebar
that and
button.
I want us to look at this Mac Rumors page together a minute here. From the top.
Mac Rumors homepage. Visited. Link. Reload page.
Okay.
New tabs. iOS 27 will let you create custom wallet passes. Mac Rumors. Skip to content. In page link.
That's the title and skip to content. But look at all these other things here.
Mac Rumors homepage. Got a tip for us? Let us know. Submit a tip. Link. Mac Rumors Show Podcast. Link. Mac Rumors on Instagram. Mac Rumors on Facebook. Mac Rumors on X. Mac Rumors on Mastodon.
All
Link.
this
Mac
stuff.
Rumors YouTube channel.
Now,
Link.
yes, I can use headings and go down here.
Insertion. Scroll below for important safety information and indications. Heading
And
level.
there's some kind of an ad for,
Insertion. IBRANCE. Palbociclib may cause serious side effects.
I guess a medicine. Keep swiping down.
Heading not found.
Okay,
Monday,
wait.
iOS 27 will let you create custom.
There's the heading finally with all the text. What if I don't want to see all those links and all those ads and stuff like that? Well, we go up to the page menu to the right of the address and search bar, and
Selected. Address. Page menu. But
we choose
show reader. Button.
Show Reader. It's not always available, but when it is,
Show sidebar. Button.
it's going to remove all that extra stuff, and what you're left with is just this beautiful rendering of the page itself. Let's swipe right.
Back. Selected. Address.
Okay, go to the right.
Selected. Page menu.
Past these
button.
things.
Add page to reading list. Manage extensions. Reload page.
And
button.
again.
Share. Button. New tab. Button.
again.
Tabs.
Now watch.
Button. iOS 27 will let you create custom wallet passes. Article. iOS 27 will
Now
let
swipe to the right again.
summarize. Button.
There's a summarize button. Keep going.
Julie Clover. Link.
And again.
Off bullet. Monday, May 4th, 2026, 11:01 a.m.
This seems different. Go to the right.
Back in April, we highlighted a new add your own card wallet app option coming in. iOS 27.
Now, what we've done, why does it seem different? Because what we've done is we've gotten rid of all those extra links, all those ads, that medicine ad, and all we have is the text of this. This is reader mode, and it is absolutely fantastic. It simplifies the page, removes all those extra things, and what you have is just this beautiful article that we can read at any time. And then when we're finished, we can turn reader mode off up here.
Selected, page menu. Hide reader button.
And we can hide the
Show
reader mode.
sidebar button.
So that is a bit about reader mode. All right. Now, let's just show you I guess probably one final thing for today, and then we'll continue with this tomorrow. Let's just do a basic Google search. We've shown you the ability to enter a website and choose from a list of quick results, but let's do an actual Google search this time. We're going to search for summer grill recipes.
Selected, address.
Double tap there.
Address.
Again, I don't have to delete anything because it says it's selected already.
Text field is editing. https://www.macrumors.com/2026/05/04/iOS-27-.
Well, I'm going to not let it read all that. It is selected. When you double tap that, it's selected unless you move the cursor. So we're just going to start typing S for summer.
S. Selection deleted. Apple Store Online.
Now it's trying to fill in, but we're going to keep typing.
Support.sonos.com. Some.
Now it doesn't search any. It doesn't have any.
MER space GRILL space grill summer grill RECIES.
Did I get the P in there?
EIPES summer grill recipes.
Now I can touch above and I can pick from existing search results here.
Summer grill recipes for dinner. Selected. Summer grill recipes. Complete search. Summer grill recipes healthy. Complete search button. Summer grill recipes for a crowd. Complete search.
See, they have a bunch of search suggestions you can double tap, or I can just press go to the right of the L.
Go.
To put my exact search result in.
Web page loaded.
It's loading a Google search. Now if I look at the address bar.
Selected. Address. Summer grill recipes button.
It shows me that search term, and I'm going to use headings.
Containers. Headings.
And swipe down with one
31
finger.
Search results. Heading sponsored results. Heading level 2
now,
ads.
We have these ads.
75 bet weeknight grill dinner rest 59 web result. Web results.
Now we're to the regular web results that are not sponsored ads.
My 19 favorite summer grilling recipes vertical line. The Food Lab. Heading level 3. Link.
It tells me this is the Food Lab. If it didn't say, I could swipe right and find the address and...
Serious Eats. Link. https://www.seriouseats.com.
It actually is from Serious Eats. I will use this one.
My 19
If I want the next one, I can swipe down.
26 easy summer grill recipes. Heading level 3.
All right, who's
Link.
doing that one?
The Real Food Dietitians. https://therealfoodietitians.com. The 26.
See the next one?
26 easy recipes. Headed Chipotle grilled chicken lettuce wraps. Quick and easy summer grill bowls.
Okay.
Heading level 3.
Let's go back up to the first one.
My 19 favorite summer grilling.
Double tap.
My 19 favorite summer grilling
and I'll stay with headings and just I don't know this page now, but let's just swipe down and see.
Heading not found. My 19 number 1. 5-minute grilled chicken cutlets with rosemary. 0 seconds. 0 seconds.
It does have a heading. It does have headings. Go down.
Number 0 second. Number 2. Carne asada. Heading number 3. Slow smoked porterhouse steaks. Heading.
Any of these that I want, I can swipe right and see.
20150. At its simplest, carne asada is nothing more than skirt steak grilled with a little salt and pepper. But for this version, I wanted to capture the spicy, savory flavor of my favorite Cal-Mex versions growing up. The secret is a marinade made with dried chilies, citrus juice, and, wait for it, fish sauce, for an extra meaty flavor boost.
Now probably this is a link.
Ad will end number 2. Carne asada, heading level 2. This ad will end in...
Now, if I want to double tap on that,
this ad will end
it will open
1,
it up.
My 19 favorites, number 2. Carne asada,
so,
heading level 2. This ad will
I can actually double tap.
This ad will end in... This ad
there's
will
an
end
ad that's playing too, but again, we're going to just have to...
advertisement.
Okay.
More Serious Eats, number 19. Number 18. Grilled flatbread with olive oil and butter. Number 17. Grilled cabbage, heading
so
level
any
2.
of these that I want.
Number 11. The best effing Dollar King. Number 12. Whole grilled fish tacos. Credit, photographs. Grilled fish needs to be moist and tender. Get the recipe for whole grilled fish tacos. Link.
There's a link you have to choose to the right. Couldn't double tap right on it. You have to keep swiping to the right, and then it says get the recipe. We can double tap that.
Video. Web page loaded.
Okay.
Zeros Safari. Keeping the fish whole. Zeros whole grilled fish tacos recipe. Heading level
All right, it
1.
says whole grilled fish tacos recipe.
Why it works. Heading whole grilled fish tacos recipe. Article. First 0 sec. August 2000. First published. Recipe details. Whole grilled fish tacos recipe. Prep. 15 minutes. Cook. 10 minutes. Active. 30 minutes.
And if I decide I want this, I can add this to my Amber, through the share sheet as well. So that's an example of just doing a simple Google search. And I think that's probably about a good place for us to stop here in a minute. But I do want to just point out that I think we've only opened one tab. If I go up to the top here.
Selected page menu. Add page to reading list. Manage extensions. Reload page. Share button. New tab button.
We can open a new tab, but we also have this
Tabs button.
tabs button. If I double tap that, that'll show me the open tabs.
Tabs.
Now let's touch
Done
the
button.
There's a done button.
Search button.
Swipe left.
New tab button. Lincoln trip. Tech check. Disney trip. Recipes. Vegas trip. Selected. Durango. One tab. But private. But more. Show sidebar. Show private.
Okay. Now I actually should have been in a different tab before. I don't know how I got in that one, but I actually want to move this to the recipes tab. So what I think I will do.
One select rep detach Lincoln new tab search done button.
There's the done button. Go to the right.
Historic Strater Hotel vertical line Durango stay rooms vertical rooms stay.
Okay.
Done, search button done.
So let's
button.
hit done, and I want to move this.
Select
So
address Strater dot page menu. But
all right, I think
historic Strater.
I see what I
select
did.
Add page manage reload share new tab tabs.
Go back to tabs. It was in the other tab. I accidentally
search new
got
tab,
into that
Disney.
tab.
Select
So we
Durango.
want to go
one tab.
back
Selected.
to.
Vegas. One tab. Button. Selected. One tab.
All right, now.
Show sidebar. Button. Whole grilled fish tacos recipe. Tab. 1 of 1. Whole
That's the
grilled
only
fish-
tab we have open here, but if I swipe up or down,
Close.
we can close it,
Show context menu.
show context menu,
Activate.
and activate it.
Default.
If you activate it, it selects that tab. If you have more than one tab, that's how you switch between them this way. They'll also show up on the main screen. We'll look at that tomorrow. But go here
Done. Button.
to this,
Whole grilled show context menu.
and let's see.
Copy link. Pin tab. Duplicate tab. Select tabs. Move tab. Close tab. Dismiss content.
I want to move it.
Move tab. Move tab. Collapsed. Selected. One tab.
Move
Button.
it where? Swipe to the right.
Durango. Vegas trip. Recipes.
Recipes. Perfect. See, that's a tab
Button.
group
Show sidebar. Button.
that I've created. So now
Show sidebar. Start page. Tab. One.
I'm back on the
Done. Start page. Done.
start page because that was the only tab I had. But if I go over here,
New tab.
I'm still in the tabs list.
Lincoln Tech Chip. Disney. Recipes. Button. Selected.
I select that one and go to the right.
Tech. Lincoln. New tab. Search. Done. 85 best stuffing and dressing recipes for Thanksgiving. Vertical line Thanksgiving recipes. Menus. 85 best stuffing and dressing recipes. Spring vegetable fettuccine Alfredo recipe. Vertical line Food Network Kitchen. Vertical line Food Network. Tab. 3 of 4.
And again, any of these that you want, you just double tap it to select it, and then you hit done.
Whole grilled fish tacos recipe. Tab.
That's the one we just added. And so
Whole grilled
now,
fish tacos
if
recipe.
I were to go and double tap any of these, it would select it for me. But also, over here,
Selected. Recipes. Button.
that tab group itself has options. Let's swipe down.
Heading not Disney.
Oh,
Select.
we can't swipe down. Let's double tap and hold. Long press. You gonna get anything?
Disney.
That one?
Selected. Recipes. Button.
Okay, I guess all the options are just here. Let's go up to the top.
Show side. More. button.
There's a more button.
Private button. Start page. Durango. Vegas. Selected. Recipes.
All right, it's selected. Now go to the right.
Disney. Tap. Link it. New tab. Search. Button. Done. Button. 85 best stuffing and dressing recipes for 85 spring veg whole grilled fish tacos recipe.
And so all those tabs are there. And so if you wanted now to do anything,
85 done. Button.
double tap done.
Web page loaded.
And we are now
Done.
Let's see where we are.
Done.
Actually,
Heading not legal terms and welcome to Food Network. We're excited to have you in our kitchen.
Okay.
Show side.
So
Select page. Add. Manage extension. Reload. Share. New tab. Tabs. Close. Button. Selected. 86 best stuffing and dressing recipes for Thanksgiving. 85 best spring vegetable fettuccine alfredo recipe. Vertical line Food Network kitchen. Vertical line Food Network. Tab. 3 of 4. Whole grilled fish tacos recipe.
see,
tab.
I'm not in the tabs menu anymore. I'm back on the website, but all the tabs are right here on the top of the screen, so I can quickly switch between them.
Legal terms and welcome to food. Whole grilled fish top spring.
So right now we're in this stuffing recipes. If I want to go back to the whole grain fish tacos,
whole grilled fish taco.
whole grilled fish taco, I just double tap, and now
Serves. Ingredients. Whole grilled fish tacos recipe. Heading.
See, now I'm back on that, and all the other tabs are still here,
Spring vegetable fettuccine alfredo. 85 best stuffing and
just above the web page on your screen. And this is the recipes tab group.
86 best tabs.
And if I long press on the tabs button, bless you,
New tab button. New private tab button.
you can add a new tab, a new private tab,
New window.
new
button.
window.
New private window. Move to tab group button.
So we can
Collapsed.
move this to a different tab group.
Close this tab. Button.
We can close that tab.
Close all 4 tabs.
And I told you there was a quick way to close all your open tabs. We can close all 4 of them.
Dismiss context menu.
We can
button.
dismiss that. And if I want to add all these tabs to bookmarks, we can go up here.
Selected page menu. Add page 0 second.
And
0
this-
page. Add page to reading list.
Add page to reading list. Let's
will end in
double tap that.
This ad will end.
And
manage add page to reading.
actually, we'd have to double tap and
this
hold
ad
it.
will end in this ad will
Okay,
end,
there we
add
go.
to.
Add.
will
So
end.
you double tap and hold, and it says add
This
to.
ad will end in 14.
Okay,
This ad will end
that's
in-
going to go away here in a second. I can turn off my
This ad will end in 9.
live regions, and that would probably stop too,
This ad will end
because
in-
it's reading the live regions every time they
This
update.
ad will end in-
So you can turn that off if you don't like that, but it's
This
going to
ad
end.
will end in 0.
Okay, now add to.
Add to reading list. Favorites. Recipes favorites. Button. Other tab group favorites. Durango.
See,
button.
we can
Vegas.
add it to any tab group favorites. This is recipes, so we can add it to the favorites for that tab group.
Disney trip. Tech check. Lincoln trip. Bookmarks. But dismiss context menu.
And then we can
Button.
dismiss the context menu.
Show-
Now, I just want to...
Reload. Share. New tab. Tabs.
I thought there was one other thing I wanted to do,
Tabs.
but I'm trying to think what it was here.
Did
we?
Did close. Start page. Done.
Oh,
Sir. New tab. Lincoln tech check. Selected. Disney heading. Recipes. Vegas. Recipes. Select the 0. Select start private. 0. Show sidebar.
Let's see.
Show private.
I guess...
Show
Oh, yeah,
sidebar.
I guess that was it, because the other thing is the sidebar has the tabs in it.
Private. Start page. Button.
Put this back to the start page.
Selected. Start page. Start. Done.
And
Button.
let me open the sidebar here.
Picture 330 Safari active extensions.
I think we might save that for tomorrow, because there's another way to access even more tab group options, but you have to do it through the sidebar, and I want to wait, and I want to have a fresh start with you on that tomorrow. So we've got a lot to do in Safari this week yet. Tomorrow, come, and I'm going to get the other instructors here and your questions in a second, but I just want to say, remember tomorrow to come to this same link, not the help session, because we're going to have class here again, and we will talk about the sidebar. We will talk about favorites and bookmarks a little bit more. We will also get into downloading files, and we'll start within the Passwords app as well. And then, of course, Wednesday, we'll see how far we get tomorrow. If there's time on Wednesday, I'd like to actually do a Safari Experience Lab.
Thanks for joining today's session. Didn't get your question answered? Have an additional comment or feedback? email us info@ttjtech.biz or info@stiritup.com. And remember, stir is spelled with a U. That's STURITUP.com. Or check out our websites for additional resources. That's ttjtech.biz or stiritup.com. And remember, subscribe to the newsletter when you're there. That way, you don't miss out on any upcoming announcements or events. Thanks for joining us. God bless, and see you next time.